Have you ever thought about how much time you spend indoors? Our homes, our offices, our entertainment venues, they're all designed to harbor us from the elements, to provide us with a cocoon of comfort. We've engineered our surroundings to such a degree of coziness that the very thought of stepping outside can feel daunting, harsh, and unwelcoming. But here's a thought. Are we imprisoning ourselves within the confines of our own creation? This overcomfort, this bubble that we've built around ourselves, is it really serving us, or is it gradually becoming a trap? We've turned our homes into fortresses, our shelters into cages. The walls that keep out the cold, the wind, and the rain also keep us disconnected from the natural world. We've become indoor prisoners, cut off from the rhythms of the earth, the cycle of the seasons, the ebb and flow of life itself. Our mental health is subtly but surely being eroded by this disconnection. We're social creatures, part of a wider ecosystem, and yet we isolate ourselves in our man-made habitats. We've replaced the vibrant, dynamic outdoor world with static, sterile, indoor environments. Do you remember the last time you felt the grass under your feet, the wind in your hair, or the sunshine on your face? When was the last time you heard the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, or the babbling of a brook? These simple joys of life are becoming increasingly rare as we retreat further into our indoor sanctuaries. This overcomfort is not without its consequences. Anxiety, loneliness, a sense of disconnection, these are the hidden costs of our indoor existence. We've distanced ourselves from nature to such an extent that we've forgotten we are part of it. We've forgotten that we are not separate from the earth, the sky, the trees, the animals. We are all interlinked, interdependent. So, are we imprisoning ourselves in our own comfortable homes? It's a question worth pondering. It's a question that may just lead us back to our roots, back to our connection with nature, back to a healthier, happier way of life. And that's a journey worth embarking upon. How clean is too clean? That's the question we often overlook in our modern, sterilized world. We've become so obsessed with cleanliness that we disinfect every surface, every corner, every nook and cranny. But have you ever stopped to wonder if this obsession is actually serving us well? You see, our bodies are a complex ecosystem of microorganisms all working together to keep us healthy. This microbiome, a virtual rainforest of bacteria, viruses, and fungi, is essential for a healthy brain and body. But when we over-sanitize our environment, we disrupt this delicate balance. We weaken our immune systems, making us more susceptible to illnesses. We alter our microbiome, potentially leading to a host of health problems. Eating and cooking in the dirt during my camping trips reminded me that not all surfaces need disinfection. It's a stark contrast to our sterilized city life. So let's ponder on this. Could our obsession with cleanliness be doing more harm than good? When was the last time you moved your body, not because you had to, but because you wanted to? This question might seem trivial, but it draws a line in the sand between two vastly different approaches to physical activity. In our modern society, movement has become a chore. It's something we schedule into our busy lives, something we do because we feel we have to, not because we want to. We go to the gym, we run on treadmills, we lift weights, but all too often these activities feel unnatural, burdensome, even tedious. Now, let's contrast this with a different kind of movement. Imagine chopping wood in the crisp morning air, or climbing a tree just for the sheer joy of it, or exploring a dense forest with no path to guide you. These activities, intrinsically tied to nature, feel natural, enjoyable. They're not just good for your body, but also for your soul. In essence, what we're seeing is a distinction between isolated, scheduled movement and integrated, natural movement. The former is a product of our comfort-driven civilization. The latter is a relic of our evolutionary past. But perhaps it's time for us to revisit this past, to integrate movement back into our daily lives, not as a chore, but as a joy. Could integrating movement into our daily life be the key to healthier living? The answer, quite likely, is a resounding yes. Do you remember the last time you truly contemplated the cycle of life and death? Life and death are constant realities in the wild, but in the safety of our homes, these realities can seem distant, almost abstract. We are surrounded by concrete walls that protect us from the harshness of nature, but they also shield us from its fundamental truths. In nature, the cycle of life and death is a daily spectacle. Birds swoop down to catch fish, providing sustenance for themselves while ending the life of another. Termites feast on decaying wood, a stark reminder of the impermanence of all things. This cycle is a constant reminder of the fleeting nature of existence, a lesson we often forget amidst the comforts of our modern lives. Our homes, our cities, our technologies, they're designed to last, to resist the march of time. But this illusion of permanence can lead us astray. It can make us forget that we too are part of this cycle. We are born, we live, and eventually, we die. This is not a morose reality, but rather a freeing one. It's a reminder to live fully, to embrace the present, to not get lost in the trivialities that often consume our lives. Impermanence is not a concept to be feared, but understood and embraced. It is a lesson taught by nature, a lesson often forgotten in the hustle of the modern world. Could understanding the cycle of life and death help us to lead a more fulfilling life? It's a question worth pondering. What if money wasn't the key to survival? Let's delve into a thought experiment for a moment. Imagine a world where the ability to accumulate wealth wasn't the singular skill required to thrive. Quite the contrary to our current reality, isn't it? In our civilization, money has become the cornerstone of existence. It's the ticket to food, shelter, healthcare, education, even social status. But what happens when we distill our worth down to our ability to earn? What happens when we hinge our survival on a single skill? This is the danger of singular capability. We become hyper-specialized creatures, honing in on the singular skill of earning money. We've traded the broad spectrum of human abilities for this one capability. It's like being a bird who can only fly in one direction, or a fish that can only swim upstream. Yet we're not birds or fish. We're complex beings with a myriad of potential skills and talents. But in our pursuit of financial success, we've become one-trick ponies. We've allowed our worth to be dictated by our bank accounts, and our identities to be shaped by our professions. This dependency on financial success for self-worth is a perilous way to live. It's like walking a tightrope with no safety net. When we tether our self-worth to our financial worth, we become slaves to wealth. We work longer hours, take fewer vacations, and stress ourselves to the point of burnout, all in the pursuit of a better paycheck. But here's the kicker. This relentless pursuit of wealth often leaves us feeling empty and unfulfilled. Why? Because we're neglecting other aspects of our humanity. We're neglecting our need for creativity, for connection, for adventure. We're neglecting our need to learn, to grow, to explore. So what's the solution? It's not to abandon the pursuit of wealth entirely. Rather, it's to diversify our capabilities, to explore other areas of potential, to find fulfillment beyond the confines of our bank accounts. Could the pursuit of wealth be suffocating our true potential? Perhaps it's time we broadened our horizons and discovered what else we're capable of. So what can we do to reconnect with our natural state of existence? We've discussed the traps of comfort, the obsession with cleanliness, the need for natural movement, the forgotten lesson of impermanence, and the dangers of singular capability. To counter these, let's embrace nature, even in small ways. Spending more time outside, having picnics, or simply taking a nap beneath a tree can reconnect us to our roots. Remember, it's about balance. Civilization has its benefits, but let's not forget to stay in touch with our roots.